Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. And today we're getting the Diablo 4 itemization PTR, where they go through and they change a bunch of stuff. And we're going to dive in and test, see what the hell they've done, if it's cool, what's going on, if you should give it a look, if you've bought the game. Maybe a little quick sneaky peeky. So here we are, installing Way. One of the first things that jumped out as a cool improvement was they added a ton of disability or aids or however you want to call them, where you can really, like, it was reading to me when I first logged into the game and let me make the font bigger for my old tired eyes, and it let me highlight my character, so like monsters had more I don't know if it's contrast or brightness, but the monsters popped off of the background more, so it was way easier to parse what was going on in the test image. Great stuff. I don't know. If you're young, maybe it's not a big deal, but for an old man like me, it was a big help, and I appreciate it quite a bit. Diving in here, just making a quick druid here, and at the start, it's you got to go through the start of the campaign until you get to Kyovashad, and then you can either stay playing the campaign or level your dude up to level 100, which I did, and I will jump to there now. In the patch notes, they mentioned that they had really streamlined and removed a bunch of the affixes from the gear, and when I was first, I only noticed that after reading the patch notes. Like, I just excitedly jumped into the BTR and started playing around. And when I'm looking at the gear, and I'm like, I don't. Looks like Diablo 4 gear. But later on, we can see some of the changes that they made. So I've never got to level 100 in Diablo 4. I always get bored and quit so far, well before level 100. And this whole jump to level 100 thing is like, yes, I understand perfectly why they did it. They want end game data, but oh my word, is it overwhelming. I mean, the skill tree is easy, right? Skill tree is the skill tree, but then you got 225 Paragon points, and that's overwhelming. That was an overwhelming, like, my brain turned off, and I went, okay, I'm just gonna click a bunch. I'm just gonna click until this all goes away. Yeah, overwhelming. I think I would have been able to give better data if I had leveled the character up, but that takes forever. It's a weird catch 22. But I am very curious, because so far some of these systems I'm seeing are intriguing, but if you need to be level 100 to access them, then it won't help me because I get stymied in Nightmare 3 or 2. And, if I'm never going to see these systems that are cool, that's a shame. It's a real shame. So I'm probably going to test that out, do a little bit of the old leveling, see how quickly and if the leveling has changed, which is what I'm far more interested in. So the level 100 jump barfs a bunch of gear at you and a bunch of gems, and so I just went, with whatever they equipped. The gems, I don't remember what they were before, but these choices at least seem more interesting. I'm seeing a lot of main stats here and resistances and, damage and crit damage. Which are more like, I remember not giving a crap. It was like, okay, I want all resist in all my jewelry. That's it. That's the only choice I remember typically making was that one. And these other gems just had a bunch of nothing on them. Whereas now, like, okay, skulls have armor. That feels different. And then, yeah, a lot of these gems feel improved. Yeah, for sure. Definitely improved and more like looking at and like, okay, I need to stack a bunch of main stat or whatever. or poison resist or whatever my build is going for. Yeah, definitely improved. And here we have the new tempering system. And it appears that your gear has a bunch of, like, 2 slots on it. I think each piece I've saw so far has 2 slots. I don't know if that's level 100 gear or not. And these slots have different categories, like offense, defense, utility, mobility, resource, and then you pick one, which I'm struggling with right here, but you pick one, you go temper, and then you can go on to the next one and select one and temper that on. And these give you it gives you a list of different abilities, and then it adds one randomly out of that. So, cool. Seems interesting. It's kind of, yeah, it's nice where you could have a little more granular control over how your gear improves than before, which, your gear either had an affix or suffix on it, or you would pick one and re-roll it at the enchanter, which is still around. There's still the enchanter. Whereas this one, we got two slots to maybe hone in on, okay, resource or more damage, or whatever you're going for. This is interesting. I kind of like this. Yeah. I'd be curious how it is, like I said, for leveling up. But being able to mess around with your gear and then re-roll your choices, yeah, interesting. And the choices that show up are like an item that you can get. I don't know where you get them. They just showed up in my inventory. But wherever and however you get them, you get an item, you right-click it, and it unlocks some of these choices that show up under the different categories. That's cool. It's not a consumable item. It's just something that your account has. I assume it's your account. I'll check that. But definitely your character has it, and you don't have to like grind a bunch of crud or anything. Very cool. All those wretched item-based legendary powers are gone. Now it is a Diablo 3 aspects, whatever, Codex of Power thing that just has all the ones you've unlocked on it. You don't have to, like, try and get ones with higher ranges or some crap. You just smash the gear or you extract the things and it goes into the thing, and you don't need to have your inventory just filled with, oh, maybe I'll need this legendary power later. No, it's all gone, and now it's in this stupid Codex of Power where it should be. Should have always been here, and that's fantastic change. Fantastic. I read on the patch notes that these elixirs and whatever's got simplified. I would need to literally have 2 screens up to see if they simplified it, so it's not that much simpler. Still the similar theme of a half-hour buff with some experience and some stats or whatever on it, which doesn't bother me. That's a big old whatever from my book. And now, straight from Diablo 3, we have ourselves a Greater Rift. So this is if you play Diablo 3, it's literally a Greater Rift. You get a keystone, you open a rift to a certain difficulty, you have a time limit. If you die, you'll get a time penalty that gets worse and worse. If you can clear the dungeon in time and kill the boss, you will get a bonus reward that lets you upgrade your level 100 gear. I don't remember what it's called, but if you screw up the time and just kill the boss, then you just get some loot, but you don't have the currency. So you get punished, but you don't get like turbo punished if you're really trying to push a key or Greater Rift or whatever the other ones are. And you can see on the right there with the time is a 10-minute dungeon, which is that's nice. Nice little bite-sized bit of content. This really engaged my mind with my horrendous druid build here. That I think I'm doing all pets or some. I just clicked a bunch of stuff, but I was able to get through here. I killed the guardian at the end in time. I got my upgrade material so I could go to the blacksmith and temper or masterwork or master temper, or whatever it is, my gear. And that's a nice little, at least for me, that's a nice little loop. Like, you need to get a keystone. I don't know how you get them. They just gave me 30 of them. But however you get the keystones, you do your rift, you upgrade your weapon, you do a rift, use all your keystones, upgrading your stuff, and then, go back whatever content drops the keystones. And yeah, it's a nice little loop that makes sense to my brain and engages it. Like, I did a thing, my gear got better, there we go. That's nice. One thing I wasn't clear on when I was actually running the rift, but now that I'm looking at the footage and thinking about it, was when does that portal open to the dude? And because I ran one of these again, and the harder one, and I'm struggling there because my character's so bad, and it wasn't cluing into me that I needed to kill monsters. Duh. It's just a D3 greater rift. If you're not killing monsters, the orange bar isn't going up and you're gonna fail. So yeah, you need to kill the monsters to fill up the orange bar. The filled up orange bar opens a portal to the boss, and then you go to the boss and you kill the boss. And then he explodes into loot. Oh, what's another thing I like about greater rifts versus standard stuff is I love having all the loot at the end. So I don't have to stop what I'm doing and fiddle fart around in my inventory. Everything just explodes into loot. You pick the loot up. You go, this is all garbage, and you smash it all at once. It's just, I like that better. Mostly. Sometimes I like the other, normal gameplay, but yeah. There's something nice about just not having to worry about stuff being picked up when you're focusing on not having your character die. I tried out a 90-something nightmare dungeon. I am not cool enough for a 90-something nightmare dungeon. The end. Helltides feel much better. Much, much better. This is on Torment 4 or T4 world hardness with my cruddy druid character blooped up to level 100. And the monster density overall felt way better. Way, way better. Like, I didn't even feel the need to, get on my mount all that often. Because I'd just be standing there. I just killed some monsters, and frequently more monsters would just spawn, and I would start getting currency, and stuff was happening, and I was doing events, and touch a thing. Oh, monsters, dart in your neck, which is fantastic. That's what Diablo should be. It should be monsters everywhere, and then you're killing them and zooping around. Oh, we're talking druid. Speaking of zooping around, there's a lot more resource on kill and a lot better sustain, so it felt much better to just use your core spender skill, and you'd kill a monster and you'd get a bunch of resources back, so you could play the game and have fun, which is a wild idea. Yep, much better. Both Helltides and the Druids sustain. Much improved. So here's the masterworking system. Here's me wasting away my pit winning thingies. And now I'm out of them, so I can't upgrade it anymore. But if you notice, there was a weird spot where it was showing a random blue item in the preview window, and I don't know what the hell that was about, but whatever. It upgraded my thingamabobber. It seems just fine. Overall, I haven't obviously tested that to its full extent. Like I haven't, because I don't. Yeah, the druid. I would have to look up a guide or mess around with it to get a druid up to a point where I think I could really test that. And I think if I was going to do that, I would just have to start from scratch and start a level 1 character and go through the whole campaign and all that stuff, which I might do. Maybe not. Well, depends. Like, if I could get to max level in a week, that'd be pretty, for me at least. I know there's sweaty people out there, but for me, who's sweaty and bad at video games, it'd be kind of nice to only, like, to be able to get to max level and participate in the end game in a reasonable amount of time. Be very appreciated. So overall, I'd say it was a much improved experience, especially with the items, which was the focus of this patch over the base game as it currently sits now. I mean, the Paragon board is still not interesting and boring AF. There's nothing going on in there that makes me care to put points into it, which sucks. Like, it feels like something that should be interesting, but it's not. It's got too many nodes or something. I wish there were less points, more impactful choices, something. But the pit, amazing. Codex of Power, amazing. Messing with your gear and having more granular control over what affixes you're putting on and what the category of affixes are going on your gear, and then swinging over to the Enchanter to mess around with that to further spend your money, which now is a cap. Brilliant. So this is kind of an exciting patch. I was hoping but not expecting good things out of Diablo. I hope it has a similar arc to D3 that started out blah crap, and then really at the end of Diablo it really came together and was a lot of fun. So I hope they do the same thing. So I'm excited to dive back in either tomorrow or later today and see how the leveling is, see how quickly I can get to, I don't even know. And continue playing around in the PTR, hopefully on a character that I'm probably not going to play out when this goes live, so I don't burn myself out. But yeah, cool. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. It really helps out a lot. And I hope to see you again real soon.